came to get down. I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone because I get stupid. I mean outrageous. Stay away from me.
Wow. Wow, we're here. Wow. Miami's back, huh? A lot of the rest of the world isn't. Well, if you don't know me, I built with my friends Alejandro, Austin Alexander, Hamdan, Steve Giros, the Bitcoin Center in New York City back in 2013. That was the first cryptocurrency, live cryptocurrency exchange, 100 feet from the New York stock market. It was a pretty ballsy move. It felt like we were Davids in front of the modern day Goliaths fighting for liberty. We came from the freedom movement. That's Ron Paul. And I always have, come on, let's hear for Ron Paul. Even you used to be socialists. You can cheer for Ron Paul. So I like to say that we're standing on the shoulders of giants because we are. Many came before us, and hopefully many will come after. It's up to each and every one of you to be able to perpetuate the monetary revolution. I used to call it monetary revolution, but now I'm probably allowed to call it a revolution. I was afraid before because, Bitcoin was for drug dealers. Bitcoin was internet gaming money that everyone made fun of me and shunned me. But after we worked with Ron Paul, we were ready to accept the notion of competing currencies, the notion of decentralization, and many of us started many of the early companies. You got Dave Johnson with Factum and BitAngels, and Nick Carey was blockchain.info. Many of us. If I forgot some, I'm sorry. A few years ago, I think 2019, we opened the Blockchain Center in Miami, then COVID hit, well, whatever. Bring it back. So, I think it's my job, I don't know why I think this, but I think it's my job to embolden or try to embolden, or maybe if you listen to me, you might become even a little bit more emboldened than you already are. So, much of my emboldenment comes from my stories with my parents, I believe, growing up. So my mom, she passed away last year. And I remember that I was being bullied. We moved to a new school. I was the darkest one there. I don't want to tell you my nickname, but it wasn't nice. And I got beat up. 10, 20 people a day would beat me up on the playground in 5th grade, and then my mother would complain to the principal, why does my son have a black eye? Why is his nose broken? And they would say, the principal said to her, well, they're kids, they're playing on the playground. And one day I got fed up and I beat up the bully, and that was the last time I got beat up, I think. But what happened was, the principal wanted to send me to the school with the short bus after that. So my mother came down to the school and said, hey, they beat him up every day. Now you want to send him because he did it one time? What's happening over here? And she said to him, if my brother found out, you're not going to see the tomorrow. I was like, oh my God. I was like, in 5th grade. I was like, my mom's threatening the principal. What is it? So Bitcoin is threatening a lot of things, right? So we have to have Thados. Thados is courage, fortitude, self-actualization. Oh, courage twice. Bravery, grit. So what happens is, so I walk out of the principal's office with my mom, and she says to me, don't let anyone take your Thados. Don't let anyone take your Thados. That's your forward motion. through the world. Bitcoin's forward motion and decentralization's forward motion is our job. We've been tasked at this moment in time, this little tiny window of opportunity to be able to free ourselves at last. I mean, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just a regular guy, you know? But I didn't let anyone take my tharos. And when I saw the same people that were bashing Ron Paul, bash Bitcoin, remember that day I destroyed the office, guys? I said, we're opening our own exchange. I said, can I say fuck? I said, fuck them. We're going to open our own exchange right next to the stock market. 2013. I had my generals with me. And we stood there bold with tharos. I gotta click. All right. I get worked up. Sorry about that. So, the world, I've said many times, a bountiful place. In the 50s, 60s, one person worked, two-car garage, everyone ate, you know? Then all of a sudden, we fell off the gold standard completely, and now everyone works and everyone's broke. And I'm trying to figure out, did the world lose 90% of the food? We have better equipment, better machinery, better science. I don't understand. So, of course, it's the centralized Federal Reserve. I said it publicly. So, back then, we knew about 150 people. That's Dunbar's number. And people didn't need an ID. Oh, this is my house. You didn't need a deed. You're in a little village. This is my house. Everyone knew that was your house. You didn't need a deed. You didn't need an ID. Everyone knew who you were. But then, when centralization hit, and what happened was, we had the stigmergy. I always use that name, that word. So, it's where, you know, outside forces, or we have, it looks like intelligent behavior, which it is intelligent behavior because they all fall in place. Just like DeFi. Everyone's falling into place into different DeFi products because of stigmergy. We're not being forced to use it. We're falling in there, and we're realizing the abundance that the world has to give that was stolen from us from these centralized organizations. As a matter of fact, the pyramids, when I saw the pyramids, I didn't cry, but I almost cried. I said, what the heck is this? I said, hundreds of thousands of people were worked into the dirt and died for this one guy's ego. I go, what the heck's going on here? I'm supposed to be in awe? Yeah, I'm in awe that this was allowed to occur. I was in awe that everybody allowed centralization to control their life. Each and every one of us, including myself, have allowed centralization to control our lives. But what happened was Moses and the plagues, there were 13 plagues. It threw them off keister. It threw the Pharaoh off keister. And guess what? They walked on out of there. Everyone's afraid of COVID and Omicron. Huh? That's our ticket out of centralization. It throws them off keister. Some places, like in Canada, I was at the Futurist Conference, and I spoke about how in 2019, I think, I said, oh, you want to buy it? You want a Lambo? That's why you're in this business? You want a Lambo? Huh? They're not going to let you drive. Are you kidding me? Oh, you want a mansion? They're not going to let you out of the house. I said that 2019. Look at today. Look at Toronto today. Look at how many people here from Escape Canada? Give me a round of applause. How many? The place is full of Canadians. It's ridiculous. Holy sh... So, and after that, after we got away from centralization for a minute, made it to the promised land, took 40 years sitting around, centralization came back and continued. And then Carnegie made these places where we all worked hard and rang the bell, taught the kids how to be part of centralization, sit in the classroom, ring the bell, get up, ring the bell, sit down, blah, blah, blah. So we could work in his factories, in his cities. Now they're talking about smart cities. I call them surveillance cities. That's Panopticon, prison house. Smart city is a surveillance city. So don't confuse the two. There are entities out there, there are governments out there who if you jaywalk, you can't get on an airplane, you can't get on a bus. You're going to get on a bus instead of the airplane because, they're following you. Because if we don't free ourselves with a permissionless, open blockchain, they're going to imprison us and enslave us and encumber us with the permissioned, closed data silos that they're going to call blockchain. I wrote that down. It says, storing your work in the dollar is an abusive relationship. We all know that, I think. So you got the Stockholm Syndrome. Well, I also coined this morning the central bank counterfeiter syndrome, where you sit there and try to store your work across time, right? And then they just print more of it. So that's this one. If time is money, every time they print more money, they're stealing time from you. What do you think of that? Well, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do about it? So, my father said this, Firio de Ninas and Firio de Tros. He said, a beast you will never become unless you eat beasts. Unless you eat beasts, you will never become a beast. The centralized governments are beasts. The centralized printing presses of the Federal Reserve and other central banks are beasts. They've driven people into the ground. They worked their whole lives. They never felt any happiness. Some of us have felt some happiness. Well, no one else did. So to become a beast, we have to eat beasts. Bitcoin's a financial voice. I'm reading. You're reading it too, right? They don't have notes on it. For those who have none, right? There are billions of people. They haven't even been on the map. It's ridiculous. And the abundance that's been hidden from right in front of our faces, we couldn't see. It's our job, each and every one of us, to perpetuate the proper decentralized mechanisms. That's our job. Our ancestors are watching. We're here because of our ancestors dying. Many of them died building the pyramids. Many of them died in centralization, most of them. And we're here, we have this opportunity to leave into the future for our kids, our grandkids, our sisters and brothers' kids, all the way down to our great-grandkids, all the way down into the rest of the future. If we don't do it now, we're going to have the worst dystopian reality ever. It's up to us. I'm talking to you. I'm sitting here like, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And sometimes I do. So I think you guys have to take it seriously somehow. I don't know if I'm the person to convey the message. Finally, you can accept this message at this moment, that it's your duty to humanity. I've been in politics a long time. You know who wants to get into politics? The biggest assholes you've ever met. That's who wants to run your life, that's who's running your life, and that's who wants to keep running your life. And it's up to you at this moment. You have this one moment to free everybody with DeFi. We have oracles. We have NFTs, of course. We have a marketplace. DEXs. We build all that stuff. I want to talk about DAOs. I think DAOs are the future. We got the shrooms, cyber shrooms. They're, monies from the sale of these things go to further scientific research, right? For mental health. We need mental health. Fat Caps is a project we have with the earliest, my cousins were the earliest graffiti writers. As a matter of fact, it's called, I gotta finish this. Graffiti writers. That's my link tree. You can check it out. It's time for me to go. I really hope that you guys have absorbed something. I want to say it even louder, even longer. Imagine I did and accept this message as the bell. You're gonna have all these companies trying to grab you so they could go into DeFi and all this shit. They're done if we don't go to them, if we don't help them, if developers don't go to JP Morgan, guess what? We gotta watch it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the